guys, it's Jody. Before we get started with today's video, I would like to give a special shout out to JR Hoden RX. Thank you so much for the super thanks. I really do appreciate it, and I'm so glad you're enjoying my channel. So now, with today's video, I would like to bring back the colors I used for the collab and auction piece, the California Dreamin'. I wanted to do something else besides a floating bloom. I didn't get a chance to do anything else with it at the time. So I wanted to bring it back today and do something simple, maybe a little bit more minimalistic. And I wanted to try it with my PPG pillow. If you remembered in that video, I actually used Glidden as my pillow, and it was a little bit on the thin side. And I'll explain more about that in today's video, but I wanted to bring it back around, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go get started. All right, we are going to go over all of the colors and the mediums and everything that we're going to be using in today's piece. Today's color palette is actually the same as what we used for the California Dreamin' collab auction piece. I wanted to use it again, doing something a little bit different. I am changing up the pillow just back to my other one. I will explain that when we get there, but for now, I'm going to go over the mediums that I've used for all of these colors here that you also saw in the last video. I briefly showed you, but I'll explain what each one is in where. This will be a little bit more in depth. So I did use the Dutch Boy for a couple of the piggies. I used the Dynasty for, I think, one of them right here. And then my paints, I usually use my Valspar. And I get asked a lot, well, why do you use one for your pigments, one for your paints? Honestly, it's personal preference. I've used this for everything as well too. It all works. It's just my preference. You can totally use one. You can use all of the Valspar, you can use all of the Dutch Boy, you can use all of the Dynasty. It is absolutely personal preference, as well as the environment and the thicknesses that I need to achieve in my studio here. So, and then the GAC. I like to use this to disperse my piggies because I haven't been using the varnish. I was experimenting, and I really like without the varnish because it's just not as slippery, and I find it dries absolutely beautiful and sparkly and just gives me all the feels. So I've done away with the varnish for now. If you use it, awesome. Use whatever works for you, because I used it for years, but I was just experimenting and I kind of like it without it. So we're going that direction now. But anyway, I use the GAC 800 to disperse my pigs. My pigs. The pigments. Sounds so funny. And I also use this to thin anything that gets thick on me. So those are all the mediums that I like to use. And then I will explain what's in each one of them. So this guy here is the Mutt. This is a combination of these three. I had originally mixed up the turquoise, the golden fluid turquoise, and the PBO Studio acrylics. The iridescent blue black. Oh my gosh. Say that 3 times. I had this mixed up with my Valspar, and then I had the Lakeside mixed up with the Dynasty, and I just decided to combine them all into one. So this actually has a little bit of 2 different mediums in it, as well as all those paints, and it's getting a little chunky on me. I may have to retire it afterwards. I see some bits in there, but this is the consistency of it. There's that one. And then this guy here is the Valspar, and it is the permanent violet dark. And this one may need to be retired too. It's getting a little chonky. And when I say chonky, I'm seeing bits of stuff coming from the sides, because if you can see all that dried, it starts to fall in, and it's all the goobly gawk, the bits. I'm full of all my words today, aren't I? All right, this guy here is this little piggy in algae. I don't know if it's upside down or not. but this is what it looks like in the container. This I mixed up with the Dutch Boy only. And I dispersed it with the GAC 800, and then I added just the Dutch Boy. And I did add a little more GAC. If it's too thick or it stands and it's too thick, I'll add more GAC just to thin it, but that's what it looks like. And as I've always said, yeah, it does look a little bit more muted in the container, but I don't care. It dries true to color. You can see that little sparkliness. All right, this guy here is, this is this little piggy vinyasa. I don't know which way my camera's going to be, so I'm just going to hold it both ways. And this one is, again, was dispersed with the GAC 800, and I used the Dutch Boy. And that's the consistency of that. And the Dutch Boy is Midwest only. You find it at Menards, which is why I showcase the Dynasty as well, because they are very similar. If you're not, at a Menards, or you don't want to use the Dutch Boy and you want to use the Dynasty, you can find that nationwide. And the Valspar is at Lowe's. I have it all down in my description box. All right. This one is quinacridone nickel azo gold, and I don't know if I said this before. I think they did away with this. When I was out of the loop for so long, I think they discontinued this, and now they have an azo gold, which I think is the same. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it may be made up a little bit differently, but the color is similar. I don't have it. I've got a lot of the, ooh, that's thick. I've got a lot of this quinacridone nickel azo gold, or QNAG for short. But anyway, this is one of my favorite colors to use. And if you can't find it anymore, I think that might be a suitable replacement. Let me know in the comments if you've used both, and if it is. I'm just assuming. Anyway, this is Valspar Ultra only. And there's not that much left, because we're going to retire that if I don't use all of it. And I think those are all the colors. Now my cell activator. My cell activator, I am using the Australian Floetrol. Go this way, we'll go this way, just in case. Alright, the gold, I've got these two colors that I like to mix together if you watch my channel. I got Atelier Interactive Pale Gold, whoops, keeps falling, and the PBO Studio Acrylics Iridescent Precious Gold. This way, or this way. And this is, well, there's actually not much left. We're going to go with it. We're going to have to mix it more soon. All right, there's the consistency of that. Again, this is with the they're both with the Australian Floetrol. I say about 3 to 1-ish. All right, my Mars Black again is the Australian Floetrol, and then this is Atelier Interactive Mars Black. And there's that consistency. All right, now for my pillow, I am going to be using the PPG Multi Pro in Eggshell. I love this guy. A lot of times I can't use it in the winter because it's too thick, but this winter has been proving me wrong. I used with this color palette for the auction piece, I used the Glidden, my Glidden Premium in satin, because I had run out of the PPG. And it almost felt a little too thin. It worked, I mean, it worked beautifully. The piece came out beautifully, but if you saw how soft and whimsical it looked, I don't get that a lot with the PPG, which is why I wanted to use the PPG with this color palette to see the difference as well. So we're going to see it together, but we're using the PPG. Let me show you. And I've got another container here as well, just in case this is not enough, because we're using a big canvas today. One that I have never used before. So there's that. So now for today's piece, we're actually going to do it all in the spinner box because we're going to play around with some swipes. Swipes and spinning. That's what I feel like doing today. So I will meet you over at the spinner box. All right. We have, I had to save this so I would remember how big it is. We've got an 18 by 24. I love these edge canvases. Taped up on the back. Whoops, take that off before we start flinging everything around. All right, I am going to get this guy. I'm going to put some pillow right in here, and then we are just going to have fun with some swipes. I'll show you what I have on my palette knife. All right, I think we're going to start with this color palette. I think we're going to start with this palette. This is one of my favorites. I get this one. This is at the Fluid Art Company. I also get this at Blick as well. They have this size, but it's number 21. I'm going to fill this up with my paints, and I will show you. All right, this is what I have. And I may put down some color here. Right now, I just wanted to put everything on the palette knife. First, I have the black cell activator, then the gold cell activator. Then I have the blue mutt mixture. Then I have the algae. Then I have the vinyasa. Then I have the purple, and then the gold. Here we go. Ooh, I love that. See, I love when the pillow colors come in too. I kind of want to keep it in the center, but we'll see. We're just playing and we're just having fun. Same as what was on the bigger palette knife. I'm just using a smaller one. I kind of want to go in here. Spin this out and see where it goes. I like where this is going. I don't want it to be too busy. I do want some negative space. Let's put the spins in here. just gonna do it really slow. This is going to come off. This is going to get bigger. I almost feel like I want to do something in here. Alright, I changed my mind. I want to stretch this out a little more before I decide to do anything. I'm not used to working with a canvas this big. This is my first. Whew. But I'm liking where this is going. I'm just kind of, I wanted to stretch it out to its maximum potential. And I wanted a lot of negative space. And I'm getting both. I thought I might want to do something more in the middle, but now I'm feeling kind of like I don't. All right, let's do another spin. Just trying to get this up here just to move a little bit more that way, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to without distorting it some more, because I kind of like where it's at. Yeah. I am seeing a little bit of something over here I got to get out with the tweezers. You know what? I like it just as is. I might do more of something with this when it dries, but I really like what's happening here. I like it actually both ways horizontally. I haven't really found a vertical. No. Nope, this is definitely a horizontal piece. It can go this way decor this way, but I almost feel like I want to add something to it, but not paint. I don't know what yet, but I love, love, love the movement of this and how the colors are coming out. And I'm excited to see how it dries. I mean, I stretched this a lot. We're using the PPG when we used these colors in the auction piece. It got really, really soft. And it is getting a little bit soft because I've been stretching it out, but it's not because of the pillow. It's just because I've been stretching it, obviously. I just heard my words. I was stretching it out before as well, but the pillow, the glidden was playing a role in it too, because these just seem a little bit more bolder. So I'm curious to see how this dries. So I am going to get cleaned up, and then I will bring you over for the flyover and the dried results, and we will go from there. And I'm back. I just wanted to come back on here and, whoa, my camera's moving. I just wanted to come back on here and say how much fun I had doing this piece. I had some expectations that I wanted, and I thought I was going to do more kind of in here, but then I really liked how it was stretching out. But I've been kind of playing around lately with some older pieces of mine, kind of painting over them or painting over parts of them or adding to them. I've never really done any brushwork painting before, so I'm kind of getting my feet wet a little bit with that, and I may do something with this. If I do, I may film it and then kind of add an extension onto this video. But I really had a lot of fun with this piece here, and this is definitely bolder. I can tell a difference in the pillow paint. The PPG, it kind of holds the paint more. The other one is just too thin, and I'm wondering if, you know, if that happens to you, if you use a thinner pillow, are your paints a little bit on the softer side as opposed to more bold, because this definitely brings out bold colors, this PPG. But I just wanted to show you what I was working on also really quickly here. When I said I was working on some pieces, this is kind of this is kind of what I'm doing here. I wanted you know, like those stones stacking, so I'm just kind of playing around with that a little bit here, having some fun with the paintbrush. So with that, thank you so much for being here and watching, and I will see you at the next video.